History offers stark examples. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, we have seen footage of just 2 or 3 Japanese soldiers subduing dozens of Chinese people. These Chinese individuals, who were adept at squabbling and scheming against their own brothers and sisters, turned into cowards when faced with a formidable enemy. Such people should not be treated as equals, they should be governed from a position of superiority. One must elevate oneself to the level of a superhuman to lead and command them. Building a strong inner circle. Even within Life of Chanyuan, when some individuals slander, defame, or attack Life of Chanyuan, particularly Xiafeng, a few of my brothers and sisters fail to muster even the slightest courage to speak up. They dare not make a sound or stand their ground. These are the same people who, in ordinary times, talk a great game, their words more impressive than a song, but when faced with real challenges, they become dispirited and spineless. I have nothing but disdain for those who lack integrity and backbone. Though Life of Chanyuan is not a political or religious organization, we are bound as family, brothers, sisters, and lovers. If anyone among us is bullied, our first response should not be to analyze who is right or wrong but to collectively defend them. Only by fostering this unity can Life of Chanyuan accumulate the energy and deterrence needed to guide humanity toward the Chanyuan era. Otherwise, we are no better than a pile of scattered sand. Look at the Muslim world, the Italian Mafia, or Mao's China. Who dared challenge them? Life of Chanyuan must surpass them all in excellence, discipline, and strength. Leadership beyond nations. Nations should not exist. The most civilized and wise should lead humanity and its regions. When I asked grassroots Zimbabweans whether life was better under white rule or their own governance, they unanimously said it was better under white leadership. This proves colonialism was correct. National independence and self-governance are regressions in human civilization. Even Hitler's core philosophy was sound: the world should be unified and managed by the most capable. His methods were secondary to this vision. Life of Chanyuan members, or Chanyuan Celestials, are not bound to any existing nationality. We are a new kind of people, armed with the way of the greatest creator, a superior human race destined to lead the world, purify humanity, and restore Earth. We are a new breed of humanity. We are superhumans. When faced with challenges, we are fearless. Even in the face of death, we remain unshaken, our expressions unchanging, our hearts steady, our eyes fixed, daring to confront whatever comes our way. Blow me up if you dare. If you can't, but you so much as lift a bomb against me, I'll make sure you're the one who gets blown up. Action over complaints. Many lament the injustice of the world. But what good does shouting about it do? For thousands of years, people have cried out, yet has the world become fairer? The oppressed are like blades of grass, endlessly harvested and regrown, just as corrupt officials rise one after another. Complaints and dissatisfaction achieve nothing. If you truly want to change the world, strap on an atomic bomb and blow it all up. Can't do that? Then either conform to the system or refuse to compromise and take real action. But stop indulging in empty talk. How do we change it? Chanyuan Buddha not only clarifies the root of the issue but also puts forward a series of measures and methods. These involve creating a new operational framework for society based on the Life of Chanyuan values. First, we must integrate ourselves into this structure, test it, and perfect it. This is one of the main purposes of building the second home. Reassessing Nietzsche. Now, let's return to Nietzsche, who proposed the philosophy of the superhuman. I have endeavored to immerse myself in his thoughts and found that he has been widely misunderstood. At the age of 25, he was appointed as a professor of classical philology at the University of Basel, a role that highlighted his extraordinary talent and brilliance. This alone proves that his mind was not chaotic but exceptionally sharp. He confronted the collapse of traditional values in his era and sought to redefine the meaning of life. Today, we recognize that many traditional human values, life perspectives, and worldviews are incorrect, inverted, and do not align with the way of the greatest creator. Over a century ago, Nietzsche loudly proclaimed the need to reevaluate all values. He was keenly aware of the flaws and shortcomings in traditional values and proposed their reassessment. His perspective stemmed from a vantage point far removed from the constraints of his time, similar to how I view humanity's current values from the coordinate system and perspective of the thousand-year world. Nietzsche's insights were ahead of their time. Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, Superman, was his way of envisioning individuals who could transcend the flawed values, life perspectives, and worldviews of humanity to create something new. This idea was profoundly correct. Even Adolf Hitler was influenced by Nietzsche's Superman philosophy, using it as inspiration for his own actions. When Nietzsche declared, "God is dead," his words did not reflect a denial of God's existence. Instead, he sought to emphasize that humanity could not rely solely on God to resolve its problems. Nietzsche urged people to take initiative and harness their willpower to actively confront humanity's challenges. He grew frustrated with those who continued to pray and wait for divine intervention while doing nothing themselves. This frustration led him to the provocative statement, "God is dead," to shock humanity into action. Furthermore, Nietzsche was critical of Christianity and rejected the God depicted in the Bible, which also contributed to his statement. Why did Nietzsche ultimately succumb to mental illness and die? The primary cause was his long-term inability to gain understanding or acceptance of his ideas, coupled with the crushing loneliness this imposed on him. This isolation led to his psychological collapse. It was not due to contradictions in his philosophy or a lack of clarity in his thinking. However, it's possible that his fate might have been different had he not uttered the controversial phrase, "God is dead." That said, we cannot adopt all of Nietzsche's ideas wholesale, particularly his extreme measures. Instead, we focus on his notion of the Übermensch because humanity today urgently needs individuals with extraordinary qualities to resolve the current chaos. This article ends here. Its perspective might seem strange and unsettling at first. I hope you hold on to your current views for now, and will take the time to analyze and explore them together.